Om Shri Rama Rama Ramiti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Sri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. Namaskar. The Ayodhyakandam starts where the Balakandam left off, with a young and youthful Rama. In the very first chapters of the Ayodhyakandam, we are given a detailed description of the nature and behavior of Rama towards the people. Here we see the emergence of Rama, the statesman, the custodian of the welfare of his people, and his popularity is because of his sincerity and genuine care and concern for one and all, irrespective of their background or status. The Ramayana isn't just a narration of the story of Rama's life. It is an invitation to explore what it means to be a good person. And the Ayodhyakandam showcases Rama's emergence as a beloved prince and the future king. Here we see him blossoming into a responsible young man, deeply loved by his people. Rama's qualities are a source of inspiration for us all. And in this video, we explore the qualities of Rama as showcased in the Ayodhyakandam, the book of Ayodhya, the second book of the Valmiki Ramayana. The central theme of Rama's qualities in the Ayodhyakandam is in his conquering of wrath, the power over his senses, his ability to keep counsel and an impartial mind, his commitment to truth and fair play against all odds, his prudent approach to the use of his time, and the efficiency of his words and actions. Rama embodies incredible self-control. He conquers anger, manages his senses, and thinks clearly even in the most difficult situations. Rama controls his emotions and avoids impulsiveness. He is the picture of composure. He conquers the urge to defend himself, even when his birthright is snatched away. For him, truth, fairness, even when it hurts, is a priority. Just imagine a prince who's never impulsive and always makes sound decisions. He is the champion of truth and justice. He stands for what is right, even when it means a personal sacrifice. Rama's unwavering commitment to truth and fairness is the constant theme throughout the Ramayana. He is the kind of leader who listens to everyone's point of view and makes unbiased decisions. Throughout the Ayodhyakandam, we repeatedly hear of Rama's virtues that endear him to the people. And we hear them not just from the poet himself, but as mentioned by different individuals, different groups, different communities in the kingdom. He is not just the darling of just a few in the kingdom or a chosen coterie of followers, but he is universally loved, respected, and blessed by the entire population and all the stratas of society. From chapter 1 till chapter 15 of the Ayodhyakandam, we get a detailed account of Rama's qualities as extolled by different people. This clearly explains the extent and depth of his popularity and acceptance among the people of Ayodhya and the Koshala kingdom. In chapters 16 and 17, we get a very clear look of the love and respect he gets from the people. In fact, they even go on to say that when he is king, all their problems and difficulties will disappear. And his reign would be the best in comparison to all the virtuous, to all the virtuous Ikshvaku kings who have ruled the land before him. Such praise and loyalty from one and all, irrespective of their class or status, is not got out of position of one's birth, but it is earned and achieved out of consistent, continuous, sincere, virtuous actions. This is further clearly reinforced. This is further clearly reinforced by the fact that Manthara advises Kaikeyi that he must be banished for 14 years to allow the impact of his popularity and sway over the people to diminish, and for Bharata to be accepted as king. His pleasant demeanor and smiling countenance is the favorite of the people. The people's sentiment is beautifully brought out in verses 29 of chapter 37. That wherever Rama resides, that is where the kingdom of Ayodhya is. How now that he is no longer in Ayodhya, it will become a barren, desolate, wasted piece of land. This level of popularity, trust, love, and support is not got as a result of being born to Dasharatha, but because of his innate nature of who he was and how he treated every individual he encountered and worked with. We see a sociable, suave, affable, and popular Rama, talented, accomplished, and yet humble of his achievements and capabilities. He is learned and well-versed in scriptures, is the perfect bowsman, a warrior, and of immense strength and prowess. And yet he is not arrogant and has an open mind, listens to another's point of view. His accomplishments never go to his head, and despite his royal upbringing, Rama remains grounded and treats everyone with respect, regardless of their social status. He is respected for his wisdom, kindness, and genuine concern for their well-being. And through his thoughtful actions, he inspires loyalty and trust from everyone around him. One is given a glimpse into his secular credentials in communicating and dealing with people of all communities and walks of life with equanimity. His friendship with Guha, the Nishad, is a classic example. He is the ultimate secular statesman, treating all with equanimity as behests their skills and capabilities. The fact that the entire city and the kingdom are rejoicing to see him installed as Prince Regent, and how the citizens involuntarily invest in decorating and celebrating the fact that he is going to be installed as Prince Regent, is testimony to his popularity as an individual and as a leader. It is a Rama in the beginning of his prime. At around 29 years, he is given that command, and on the very morning of his installation as Prince Regent, he is told to hand over the kingdom to Bharata and go into exile for 14 years, to live as an ascetic in that unpleasant Dandaka forest. And what do we see? We see an unruffled, unperturbed Rama who willingly accepts the order and whose only complaint is that Kaikeyi should have ordered him directly herself instead of troubling his father. He only asks for time to bid farewell to his mother Kausalya, and he states that he will selflessly defend righteousness at all costs. Rama's significance therefore goes beyond religion or culture. He is a timeless role model whose values resonate with us even today. In the Ayodhyakandam of the Ramayana, we are introduced to a Rama on the cusp of adulthood. This isn't just any prince. He is a natural-born leader with qualities of true statesmanship, with qualities of a true statesman. We see the emergence of a mature and wise Rama as he discounts Kaikeyi's mechanizations to providence instead of blaming her. And at the same time, he advises his mother to be aware of Kaikeyi's behavior and craftiness and to take good care of his father. We see his insights. We see his insights into human nature and the male ego when he tells Sita to behave in the most circumspect manner in front of Bharata, and in his absence, never to extol his virtues in front of Bharata or others, as that would cause jealousy and doubt about her allegiance to Bharata as the king. He is the perfect son and the perfect brother. We see for the first time his heartbroken tears at his exile and his having caused his mother pain, which was caused by his action to protect his father's reputation. This is in contrast to what his mother laments about when he goes to tell her about his exile on the day of the investiture, on the day of his investiture as Prince Regent. Kausalya is afraid and worried about her position in the kingdom and her plight and condition at the hands of being mistreated by Kaikeyi. Her first point of worry and thereby her lament is not about the problems, the difficulties and dangers and challenges her son would face in the long period of living in the forest, but for her own safety and comfort. We see him shed unstoppable tears at the pain and agony caused to others due to his exile. In chapter 53, we see a totally human side of Sri Rama, where he expresses apprehension for the safety and well-being of his fathers and mothers, Kausalya and Sumitra, at the hands of Kaikeyi's evil design. Even though he wants Lakshmana to stay with him during his exile, he still chooses to give him the order and option of returning to Ayodhya for the protection of their mothers. Rama is the quintessential brother, elder brother of all times. He is the brother who is selflessly followed by his siblings. Vishnu was divided into 4 parts to manifest in the form of the 4 brothers as the 4 sons of Dasharatha. So in actuality, all 4 of them are worthy of being worshipped as the ultimate example. And we know that each of the 4 brothers represents one of the pillars of human nature. It is in the Ayodhyakandam that we see the complex and beautiful interplay between the brothers, how each of their natures singularly focuses on supporting Rama, and how the unique archetypes do not dilute or distract, but in fact add richness and value to the qualities of Rama. We see how merging all their qualities, Rama emerges as the Maryada Purushottam, the best among the best of men. Bringing about balance in each of the 4 archetypes, adding the missing parts to them to make them whole, therein lies the real magic of Rama. The brothers love and respect and adore him. We can see the love and respect of Bharata for his brother when he considers him akin to his father in anger and in the anger and anguish he feels, and in his ranting at his mother Kaikeyi for her actions, which he calls evil and characterless. Bharata's anger and agony on learning of Rama's exile is unparalleled. And the anger of Shatrughna against Manthara shows how deep their love for Rama, their eldest brother, goes. In fact, Rama admonishes Lakshmana not to think of unrighteous acts, even if they are out of love and affection for him. And Lakshmana clearly tells him that he no longer believes as Dasharatha's sense of parenthood, and that Rama is his brother, master, kinsman, and father. Rama is the love of her life. He married Sita when he was 16 or 17 years old. They spent 12 years together before Dasharatha calls upon him to consecrate him as king regent, as prince regent. And on that very day, he is sent into exile. We see the depth of his love for Sita and the deep bond of friendship and mutual respect they share. When he comes to see her after having heard his father telling him to go into exile. She instantly senses his dejection. And knowing full well that he has just advised his mother, Kausalya, that a woman's side is by her husband, and he could in all righteousness not display double standards. In these chapters, there is a beautiful display of the argument and counter-argument between him and Sita, which he uses to determine her true thinking and state of mind. And in all fairness, Sita's argument to accompany him to the forest was logical before he allows her to accompany him into exile. Knowing full well that he is totally capable of protecting her and looking after her, he still uses the description of every form of danger and hardship possible to explain the dangers that she would face and to deter her from accompanying him into exile. He does this instead of just imposing his will on her and insisting she stays back in Ayodhya to look after his mother and father. And yet he gives her the opportunity to argue with him. He puts forth every logical reason why the forest is not the right place for her to dissuade her from accompanying him. The tears she sheds for his loss, his pain, and his agony show the bond between them. Even when seeking a suitable forest to spend his years of exile, he asks Rishi Bharadwaja to suggest a location that would provide the best and most comfortable environment for Sita. And in chapters 94 and 95, we see how he takes time to share the beauty of their surroundings with her and tells her that he would any day choose to spend these 14 years with her in the forest rather than rule the kingdom of Ayodhya. As per the Padma Purana, Rama was 15 or 16 years old when he was sent off with sage Vishwamitra, and he marries Sita around the age of 17 or 18. It is as a mature youth that Rama leaves the kingdom and goes into exile in the forest. There is no doubt that he is the best choice and the right choice to be installed as Prince Regent. Even his mother Kaikeyi says so. All the ministers, the neighboring kings, and the people in one voice hail Dasharatha's decision to install him as Prince Regent. The popularity of Sri Rama is neither a myth nor a hyperbole of the poetic expression indulged in by Valmiki. Everyone wants a son like Rama. Everyone wants a brother like Rama. Everyone wants a friend like Rama. Everyone wants a husband like Rama. And everyone prefers a foe or enemy like Rama. Valmiki dedicates 16 sargas or chapters to describing the agony, despair, and depth of pain experienced by different segments of society over his exile, because of his qualities that have endeared him into the hearts of the people. The agony felt by the queens, the consorts of Dasharatha, the ministers and the family priests, the advisors, the workers and staff at the palace, is not a chance syncophatic symphony, but the result of a heartfelt connection that Rama establishes with each individual in both daily and casual contact. The agony of his exile cuts across all sections of society. The fact that without exception, the residents of Ayodhya are willing to desert their homes and empty their coffers to leave behind a desolate kingdom for Kaikeyi to rule over. The fact that even the senile and aged Brahmanas follow him to the forest gives us a glimpse of his qualities as a statesman, a leader, and a person of virtue. In all the lamenting, one hears his qualities repeatedly being extolled and how he is the most undeserving of being exiled. When he leaves the kingdom and goes to the forest, The mourning caused by the misery and pain felt by the people is far greater and overshadows the mourning at the demise of their king Dasharatha. In the Balakandam, we see that he is born with a clean slate. There is no memory of his divine origin or his life's mission to kill Ravana. He embarks on his 14 years of exile in the forest without even the slightest inclination of the events that were to follow. Unlike Krishna, who is fully aware of his mission and that he would forgive 100 mistakes before he kills Jarasandha and Kamsa, in both the Balakandam and the Ayodhyakandam, we see that he is totally human. He travels through different regions of the country, through the various forests. He assists in ridding them of demonic and evil forces that disturb the peace and tranquility of the ascetics. He gets rid of ogres that harm the creatures of the land that they take over and inhabit. All this he does as a well-trained and talented warrior, not as a divine and all-powerful God. Almost all great seers and thinkers and guides have come from very humble and poor or unknown families. Therefore, it was easy for them to renounce and leave behind their family ties and follow their divine path. But here is a man born to the greatest and most powerful king of all times, who in the wink of an eye leaves behind his comfort, riches, and glory, and goes into exile and lives the life of an ascetic in the forest. The path of righteousness is all about choices. The choices Rama makes as a man and not as an all-knowing divine avatar. Dharma is not about religion. Dharma is neutral and is applicable across all new and modern religions also. Dharma is about doing what is right because it is the right thing to do. Dharma is unilateral in its applicability. It does not give any privileges to a chosen few or because of their birth or position in life. Dharma is specific to each strata of society, and Dharma is about righteous actions, righteous decisions to be taken by each strata according to the Dharma applicable to them. So the path of righteousness is all about choices. Choices Rama makes as a man and not as an all-knowing divine avatar. And that is Rama's legacy. Rama's story is more than a myth. It's not a myth, it's an inspiration. He has ample opportunity to overturn the decision of his exile. Even Lakshmana, Kausalya, and the Emperor Dasharatha himself urges him to take over the kingdom forcibly, and that there is not a soul in the kingdom who would oppose such an action, in fact, which would have been welcomed by all. Therefore, Rama's legacy is a reminder that true leadership is not about power, it's about character, integrity, and the ability to inspire others. It's not a legendary tale, it's a testament to the power of good character. It's not the story of just any prince, or a famous prince, or a great prince. It's the story of an ideal leader, the perfect son, and the epitome of righteousness. In fact, the qualities of Rama inspire us to be better people, to choose the right path, even in the face of adversity. Rama's forefather Harishchandra was considered one of the most truthful kings. Yet, I find Rama's adherence to his word more powerful than all the choices and actions of Harishchandra. Because after Dasaratha's death, there was no need for him to uphold his father's vows, the promise being almost held null and void. That too, especially when Bharata and his mother and all the sages, the counselors, the priests, and the people request him to return to Ayodhya. It is here that his resolve to uphold his father's vow stand far above all the righteous deeds of all the previous Ikshvaku kings. Rama is a cultural icon. Even after 14,000 plus years, his story continues to resonate with people across generations. Because the strength of a man lies in his being unshaken, unmoved by changes in his circumstances. There is not an ounce of remorse or regret in his having to give up his kingdom, but also all the luxuries of life for 14 years. This unshakable composure is shown by Rama, the man, and not the god or divine deity. And this is where the true charisma of Rama lies. And this is why, of all the gods and deities over time, he is the most worthy of worship. He is a cultural icon, and he remains a powerful symbol of our culture, our history, and it is his qualities, his life's story, the examples that he sets, that is a role model for generations at all times. His popularity rivals the hero worship of celebrity stars of today. The iconic status of Sri Rama is not only part of our heritage and culture, but also deeply embedded in our psyche and subconscious attachment and joy of good over evil. None of the great leaders and godmen who have followed even come close to this role model. He is not just a brand, not just a man, not just a god, but an inspiration, an aspiration in the minds of every Indian. Om Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanani Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Sri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. Dhanyavad.